Loss Control Management LCM, Hazard Identification HAZID, and Operability Study HAZOP, and Quantitative Risk Assessment QRA are essential elements in the field of health, safety, and environmental HSE management, particularly within industries that operate with significant potential risks such as oil and gas, chemicals, and manufacturing. Each of these tools serves a specific purpose in identifying, assessing, and managing risks to reduce the likelihood of accidents and ensure the safety of operations. Loss Control Management LCM is a strategy to identify, assess, and manage risks to minimize accidents, injuries, and asset loss, ensuring safety and regulatory compliance. Hazard Identification HAZID systematically identifies potential hazards in processes or operations, crucial for early risk mitigation strategies. Hazard and Operability Study HAZOP is a detailed examination to identify risks to personnel or equipment and ensure operational efficiency, focusing on unforeseen design or operational issues. Quantitative Risk Assessment QRA estimates the likelihood and impact of hazardous events, helping prioritize and manage risks effectively. Together, these methodologies enhance industrial safety by proactively managing potential risks, ensuring a safer working environment, and safeguarding against operational disruptions and losses. Let's define each with purpose. Starting with Loss Control Management LCM definition, loss control management is a comprehensive approach aimed at identifying, assessing, and managing risks to prevent accidents, injuries, and loss of assets. It encompasses a wide range of activities including safety management, risk assessment, training, and emergency response planning. The goal of LCM is to minimize the potential for loss, thereby protecting workers, the environment, and the financial assets of an organization. Now let's see, what's the purpose of loss control management? Purpose: the primary purpose of loss control management is to implement strategies and practices that prevent accidents and minimize their impact should they occur. It involves identifying potential sources of loss, assessing their likelihood and potential severity, and taking appropriate measures to mitigate these risks. Loss control management aims to ensure a safe working environment, compliance with regulatory requirements, and protection of the company's assets and reputation. Now let's talk about hazard identification. Hazard definition: hazard identification is the process of systematically identifying hazards that could potentially cause accidents or harm in a workplace or operation. It involves reviewing operations, processes, and materials to identify any chemical, physical, or biological hazards that pose risks to safety or health. After definition, now let's understand the purpose of hazard identification. Understanding purpose is important to understand its need, when, and why. Purpose: the purpose of hazard is to proactively identify potential hazards before they can cause harm. By identifying these hazards early, it is possible to develop strategies to eliminate or reduce the risks associated with them. HAZID is a critical step in risk management that helps in prioritizing hazards for further detailed analysis through methods like HAZOP and QRA. Identification is the key during operability. System requires thorough examination and evaluation. Such can be done by hazard and operability study or hazards of operability study HAZOP. Definition: HAZOP is a structured and systematic examination of a complex planned or existing process or operation. It aims to identify and evaluate problems that may represent risks to personnel or equipment or prevent efficient operation. HAZOP is typically carried out by a multidisciplinary team using a series of guide words to explore potential deviations from the design or operational intentions. Each intended study is for a purpose during operability. Similar criteria are required. Let's Understand the purpose of HAZOP. Purpose. The purpose of HAZOP is to ensure that a process or operation is as safe and efficient as possible. It helps in identifying potential hazards and operability problems that were not foreseen in the design phase, thus allowing for the implementation of mitigating measures before the process is built or while it is in operation. HAZOP is vital for improving safety and reducing the likelihood of operational disruptions. The studies we are discussing are all primarily qualitative or quantitative risk assessment or analysis. Let's understand one such study: quantitative risk assessment QRA definition. QRA is a formal and systematic approach to estimating the likelihood and potential impact of hazardous events. It involves the quantification of risks based on the probability of occurrence and the severity of their consequences. QRA is used to assess the risk associated with specific hazards and to compare the effectiveness of different risk reduction measures. For each studies we have seen its purpose. Similarly, let's see the purpose of QRA as well. Purpose. The purpose of QRA is to provide a detailed understanding of risks, allowing for informed decision-making regarding risk management. It helps organizations to prioritize risks and to allocate resources effectively to areas where they will have the greatest impact on improving safety. QRA is essential for developing risk mitigation strategies that are both effective and efficient, ensuring that the level of risk is reduced to an acceptable level. What we just described, with different names, are basically qualitative and quantitative risk assessments, the two fundamental approaches to evaluating risks within an organization. Qualitative risk assessment focuses on identifying hazards and assessing them based on their severity and likelihood using descriptive terms such as low, medium, and high. This approach is subjective, relying on expert judgment and experience to prioritize risks without applying numerical values. On the other hand, quantitative risk assessment quantifies risks by assigning numerical values to both the likelihood of occurrence and the impact of each risk. This method uses statistical data and mathematical models to calculate the potential magnitude of risks, providing a more objective basis for decision-making and risk comparison.
Thank you for watching our video. If you found the content informative and valuable, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below and hit the bell icon to receive regular updates on our latest videos. We're excited to bring you content that celebrates and promotes awareness around safety practices and principles. Your support helps us continue to spread important messages about safety and well-being. Share, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for more updates.